Welcome to part 3 of The Boy Who Cried, Abba. We left off in part 2 with Willie Wan being elated that the medicine man, Jesus, has just told him that he is his friend. And then Willie Wan goes into a panic because he's never had a friend before, saying, I don't know how friends act. The medicine man's so kind to me. He shares his food. He doesn't laugh at my scarred skin. He listens to me. What if I'm not a good friend? What if I disappoint him? What if he changes his mind? I could lose my only friend. Panic shook the whole of his little frame, and Willie Wan grabbed the medicine man's hand and cried out, Oh, senor, please tell me, what does it mean to be a friend? Don't let your heart be troubled, little brother, replied the medicine man. I'll share with you what friendship means to me. And by the way, it means a great deal. I consider it life's rarest and most priceless treasure. I'll tell you the kind of friend I am, and then you decide for yourself, Willie Wan, what kind of friend you want to be. It's a good question. Yes, senor. Little brother, if I speak to you in any language, human or angelic, but do not love you, I am not your friend. Catch this. This is really beautiful. From the book of Corinthians. But have you ever read it as if Jesus was saying this to you? We often think of that as us, which is pretty important. But I think here it takes on a whole new level for us. So I'm going to start again. Little brother, if I speak to you in any language, human or angelic, but do not love you, I am not your friend. If I share all my knowledge with you so that you understand everything in the whole wide world, but do not love you, I am no friend at all. I think back to the padre, the priest in the church, trying to tell Willie Wan all the stuff. But there was no love. If I give all my food to feed your family and give all my money to take care of all your needs, but do not love you, I am not your friend, Willie Wan. Because I am your friend, I will always be patient with you. I will always be kind to you. I will never act or be jealous of your other friends. I will never act stuck up with you. I will never be rude to you. I won't befriend you just to get what I can from you. I won't lose my temper when you disappoint me, nor will I rejoice when you do wrong things. But I will celebrate when you are true to yourself. There will be no limit to my forgiveness of your failings, to my trust in you, to my power to endure all the difficulties of being your friend. Willie Wan, I will never fail you. The little boy, entranced by the medicine man's words, grew quiet and snuggled closer. little brother. Willie Wan, startled. Yes, senor? Are you going to remember everything I've been telling you? Oh, no, senor. Yes. Willie was so confused. If you have forgotten everything I have just said, the medicine man responded, just remember this. There are three things that matter in a friendship: faith and hope in your friend. But the third is the greatest of them all: the love of your friend. Willie Wan had listened attentively, but he knew that he had much to learn about being a friend. He shook his head sadly. Oh, senor, that is so beautiful, but I could never be a friend like that. I'm just a little boy, and I've never had a friend. I'm sure I'll just mess up. That's why I gave you my amarine, little brother. It will help you learn what you need to know to be a friend. You will need to rub the 3 drops on your heart, one tonight, one tomorrow, and one on the third day. The first drop is called forgiveness of others. The second is called acceptance of self. And the third is called joy. Do that, and you'll have done your part. The Spirit of El Shaddai will do the rest. I'm going to read that again. That's why I gave you my amarine, little brother. It will help you learn what you need to know to be a friend. You will need to rub the 3 drops on your heart, one tonight, one tomorrow, and one the third day. The first drop is called forgiveness of others. The second is called acceptance of self. And the third is called joy. Do that, and you'll have done your part. And the Spirit of El Shaddai will do the rest. Lots to say about that. I think I will make a video at the end of this book and just share what's on my heart about a few of the things here in this book. Some more, rather than continuing to interrupt the story. Just write that part down. Okay. Is that when it will heal my leg and scars? Yes, my little friend. When the Spirit of El Shaddai comes upon you, then you will be healed. But tonight, after you rub on the first drop, accept in faith, never doubting. If you doubt, you'll be like a wave tossed and driven by the wind, or a tumbleweed hurling across the sand without roots. People like that, who are slippery in all they do, must not expect to receive anything from the Spirit of El Shaddai. But you, Willie Wan, ask and you will receive. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open to you. He paused. And now, Willie Wan, I must leave. I say goodbye because I am going home to my father. What? What? Gasped Willie Wan. Can I come with you? The sudden announcement left him feeling abandoned, lonely, and afraid. In a pleading voice, he cried, Senor, can I come with you? No, Where I'm going, you can't come. If you know your Bible, you should know where this part's all coming from. Know where I am going. You can't come, Willie won. It's a long journey. I must cross over the Sanditas Mountains, go down through the sands of the Arizona desert, and across the wilderness of the Rockies, through the dense redwood forests, and then over the great sea to the kingdom of my Father. But in my Father's kingdom, there are many beautiful houses. I'm going to fix up a place especially for you. And then I'm going to come back and take you home with me so that we can be together. Senor, who is your father? I call him Abba. Willie Wan began to giggle. Abba, Abba, Abba. Abba, Abba, Abba. He let it roll around in his mouth, feeling how easy it was to say, how funny it sounded. It made his lips tingle when he said it quickly. Then he grew suddenly quiet. He was sorry he'd laughed. The medicine man had just told him that a friend was never rude. Maybe he wouldn't like people to laugh at his father's name. I'm sorry, Senor, Willie Wan said. I didn't mean to make fun of your father's name. Please don't be angry that I laughed about his name. No, little brother, the medicine man responded. My father is always pleased when you call his name, even when you play with it. At the mere mention of his father's name, the medicine man's face shone like 1,000 sunbeams, and his eyes grew brilliant like starlight. The medicine man lifted Willie Wan off his lap and helped him stand up. Willie Wan stood quietly and watched as the man began to pack up his buckboard and prepare to leave on his journey. Don't forget tonight, little brother. And by the way, thank you for the cup of water you gave me in the adobe church. I will not forget it. It will not go unrewarded. The medicine man smiled one more smile, blessing Willie Wan with his peace. He climbed into the buckboard, and with a soft cluck to his horse, he headed west, away from the fiesta and the little town of Hopi. Willie Wan ran, skipped, jumped, and danced all the way home. He sang, too, even though his third-grade teacher, Sister Mary Picayune, had told him that he must never, never sing in church because his voice sounded something like called the abomination of desolation, whatever that meant. He sang anyway, remembering a tune from the folk service. Oh, he called the little children and sat him on his knee. Glory, sing to the Lord. Then he hugged them and caressed them till they didn't want to leave him. Glory, sing to the Lord. Glory, sing to the Lord. Glory, sing to the Lord. That night, Willie Wan excitedly told his grandmother about the fiesta, the parades, and the lively music and the delicious foods. And he told her that he had found a new friend, although he didn't say much about this friend. Calm Sunset could see that Willie Wan had indeed had a very exciting day. She was filled with energy. He was filled with energy. unable to sit still, obviously filled with the joy of finding such a wonderful new friend. Willy Wan quickly ate his supper, then kissed his grandmother good night, and went to his own little corner of the adobe hut, drawing the curtain across. He was eager to try the medicine of love. Wouldn't grandmother be surprised when all his scars had disappeared and his leg was straight and whole? He knelt down beside his bed and pulled out the little orange bottle. He opened it slowly, then tipped it carefully to place a small drop on his finger. He began to rub the first drop of amarine, forgiveness of others, onto his heart. Ow! That hurts, he exclaimed in surprise as he felt the amarine begin to burn inside his chest. Willy Wan hadn't realized how deeply the other boys and girls had hurt him, but he continued to rub it in anyway, because that's what the medicine man had told him to do. As he rubbed, he recalled the pain of being rejected, the humiliation of being ridiculed, the sorrow of being abandoned. The tears slowly welled and fell as Willy Wan cautiously began to forgive his father, his schoolmates, the villagers, even his mother. At first, the pain of forgiving nearly overwhelmed him because the memories of abandonment and rejection were so vivid, the hurt still so real, and the pain still so deep. But gradually, as he let go, Willy Wan began to feel the hurt recede and the peace flood into his heart. He was so eager for healing that he decided not to wait another day before applying the next drop. I had to pause it there, and now I lost my place. Oh, yes. He started to open the bottle so he could pour out the second drop. Wait, did I say that? But gradually, let me back up. I'm so sorry. I am sorry this time. Gradually, as he let go, Willy Wan began to feel the hurt recede and the peace flood into his heart. He was so eager for healing that he decided not to wait another day before applying the next drop. He started to open the bottle so that he could pour out the second drop. Acceptance of self. Then, in the moonlight, streaming through the window, Willy Wan looked down and caught sight of his scarred, disfigured torso. He moaned. The hideous scars glowed with a dappled iridescence that made the boy shudder in disgust. He became furious. "I hate you, speckled trout," he screamed at himself. "You stink. You're just a big mistake. You're uglier than a lizard. Ugly, stupid, rotten. I hate you. I hate you." He threw himself across his bed and curled up into a little ball, flinging the bottle away. Even worse than seeing his own scarred body was the anguish of betrayal. The medicine man had tricked him. Willy Wan's leg was not straight. His scars had not disappeared. His body was still broken and marred. The medicine man made promises he didn't keep. "I should never have trusted you, you stupid medicine man. You're a faker. You're a phony. You're more bent than a broken nose. You lied to me." he cried. I hate you. Feeling deceived, abandoned, and friendless once more, Willie Wan began to cry with such desperation that his whole body shook with the quiet sobbing. Finally, physically spent and emotionally exhausted, he sank into a troubled sleep. The next morning, Willie Wan shuffled into the kitchen. Calm Sunset sat rocking gently in her chair. She watched Willie Wan tenderly and wondered at his puffy eyes and sad face. She wondered that she hadn't heard his weeping during the night. What happened to turn last night's elation into this morning's sadness? Come and sit by my side, precious child, she murmured. The boy nestled into the rocker beside his grandmother. Tell me what is going on in your sad little life. Like a swollen river rolling over the levee, the words gushed in a torrent of pain from Willie Wan's mouth. The encounter with the medicine man at the fiesta, the seeing the gentle eyes of El Shaddai, having a friend for the first time, his new name for God, Abba, the bottle of Amarine, and last night's heart-wrenching failure with the drop called self-acceptance. With her eyes closed, Calm Sunset sat motionless for a long time. She had listened intently to her grandson's story. Now she was listening even more intently to an inner voice. Then she placed her arm around Willie Wan's shoulders and said, You are light to my fading eyes, little one, and the love of my weary heart. How much do I love you? There is no way I can ever tell you how much. Let me ask you something. Do you know why the medicine man, when he was standing in front of the buckboard at the fiesta, looking out at the whole crowd, do you know why he fixed his gaze on you? No, grandmother. It was because when he saw you, he saw himself. It was because when he saw you, he saw himself. Willie Wan, wounded, outcast, lonely, and betrayed. In a single instant, he understood you and read the longing in your eyes. Ah, my little child, I must tell you with a heavy heart that so many who claim to know El Shaddai do not long for him. Even though they crisscross the globe, speaking as if they were on intimate terms with him. Everyone who meets these people assumes that they must be close to him, but in truth, many of them are simply afraid to be alone with the medicine man. They're frightened of becoming still enough to rest in his presence. They flee silence. They dread solitude. Oh, they always use all the right words. Getting honest, becoming open, being vulnerable. And yet they remain dishonest, closed, and invulnerable to the lover in our midst. Someday, tragedy and heartbreak may force them to turn their own words upon themselves, but now their hearts are empty of the fierce longing that consumes yours, Willie Wan. It's a wise grandma. Relaxed in his grandmother's arms and soothed by her quiet words, Willie Wan was yawning, tired from his long, restless night. His grandmother didn't notice. Let me explain the second drop of amarine. You can't get self-acceptance. You can't get self-acceptance by memorizing scripture or by trying hard to make people like you or by working hard to achieve great things. It is a work of El Shaddai, the all-powerful one. It is an act of trust, the triumph of grace over illusion, the victory of truth over self-delusion. Calm Sunset glanced down. Willie Wan was sound asleep, curled up at her side. His grandmother smiled. Then she started chuckling, mostly at herself. Ah, you silly woman. You are as sensitive as a red brick. You bored the child to sleep with your endless pontificating. Perhaps you are not so wise after all. Oh, Lord, have mercy on this addle-brained old woman. She leaned back in the rocking chair, closed her eyes, and turned her face to the morning sun, quietly stroking Willie Wan's copper hair. As she rocked, she heard a soft sound very much like a bubbling brook. She knew it was Jesus laughing with her. When he awoke a few hours later, Calm Sunset fixed a breakfast of hot tortillas and beans for her grandson. During the meal, Calm Sunset realized what must happen next. Willie Wan, listen carefully to me now, she said with quiet urgency. You must leave here immediately and go to the cave of bright darkness. The boy's eyes grew wide. Grandmother, why must I go there? Will you come with me? I am too old to make the trip, little one. And besides, this is a trip you can take only by yourself. When you reach the cave, you must stay there until 1 hour after sunset. Sit calmly and patiently. Listen to the silence. Watch for water, wind, and fire. And then wait for the storm to pass. It is not important that you understand what I am saying. At this moment, courage is more important than understanding. Calm Sunset helped Willie Wan pack a knapsack with a plump fajita left over from his lunch with the medicine man, a canteen of water, and a flashlight. At the last minute, she remembered the amarine. Quick, little one, run and find your bottle of the medicine of love. Willie Wan ran to the corner and dug around behind his bed to find the little bottle he'd flung away the night before. They tucked it into the backpack, and Calm Sunset helped Willie Wan slip his arms through the straps of the backpack. Be on your way, Willie Wan. Her eyes glistened with love, and her voice rang with such authority that Willie Wan did not hesitate. She marked his forehead with the sign of the cross and hugged him tenderly. He departed at once. With the knapsack strapped across his shoulder, Willie Wan scrambled across the slope that led to the steep ascent up the mountain. The cave of bright darkness had been hollowed out of the face of the mountain by natural erosion and stood at an elevation of 5,000 feet. The cave had come by its name through more than 3 centuries of use by countless pilgrims as a place of spiritual retreat. Those who spoke of their experiences found them difficult to describe, telling of shattering spiritual encounters there in the luminous obscurity of pure faith, or as Calm Sunset had put it after her retreat there some 60 years earlier, in the deep and dazzling darkness of sheer trust. And here we pause, and we'll continue with part 4.